Guys, welcome to another tutorial. So in today's video I'm going to be teaching you how to toggle between light and dark mode in Python Tkinter. So the the process I'm going to teach you right now, probably there are so many ways of doing that, but I'm going to teach you what works for me, and that's what I use in my applications, and it works for me perfectly. So that's what I'm going to be teaching you. So let me show you an example of the same thing I use. So this is a project I'm creating on bookshop sales management system, and as you can see, I can change the background color and change it to dark mode. I change it to a little light. You can see this border, this places changes the color. I can change it back. So you are seeing the proof that this is what I'm using in my applications and they are working for me perfectly. So that's the same thing I'm going to be teaching you today. So let's get into the video. So before we do that, first let's create a nice UI that will be able to play with the colors. So let's start first. So let's import Tkinter. So from Tkinter we import asterisk. So let's assign a window to the TK. So window TK. Then we'll give it some size. So window dot, okay, we don't need to even give it size, because let's give it a state to make it full screen. So we don't need to give it size because it will probably be full screen whenever we launch it all the time. So let's say window dot state and give it zoomed. Then one more thing is, let's say window dot config, which is we are giving the background color of, let's say, background. So there's this color code I have in mind I'm going to be using, so which is 444. That's 3 of the 4s, then 654. So okay, let's launch it, then we'll see what we are doing so far. So window dot main loop. So when we launch it, okay, run. So this is the result. So this, as you can see, the page zoomed by itself to full screen. So that's what the window dot state is doing there. So now let's add some header. So let's come here, let's say header, then we say frame, then we are putting it on our window. So we'll give it a window attribute, then we'll give it a background of black, which is 60, 1 2 3 4 5 6, or you can simply write black, basically still the same. So let's place it. So we say header dot place, then we'll have our x coordinate of 300, then our y coordinate of let's say 0, because it's going to be at the first. So let's run it and see the result we got. Okay, I think the color is unknown. Sorry, you need to add a hash in front of the color. So run it again. Okay, so far I've not seen any, I think. Okay, let's give it a width. Sorry, we need to give it a width. So width of let's say 1070, and a height as well. So height of, let's say, 60. So I think we should see something right now. So let's run it again. So as you can see, we have this black frame line at the top here, which that's why I call it header. Basically, you can name it anything you want, but I just call it header because I want to make it easy identifiable. So now let's create some sidebar, some frame that will also lie at the side. So say sidebar. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So when I launch, I want to put some frame at the side here to cover here. So that's why I'm calling it sidebar. So I hope it's clear. So sidebar. So we assign it to frame as well. Then we'll say window. Then we'll give it also a background. So this is also going to take different color code. So I think I'm probably going to use 6 B. I think okay. I think 5. Then C F F. Okay. So we'll place it. So we say sidebar. Sorry, sidebar dot place. Then we give it x and y coordinate. So give it x coordinate of 0 and a y coordinate of 0. Then once again, this time around, I don't want to forget the width and the height. So give it a width of 300, then a height of 750. Alright, so let's launch this as well and see what we got. Okay, so you can see this sidebar placed at the side here. So that's basically what we just did now. So let's come back again. So I think right now we can start toggling now. So right now I want to add, okay, let's add some button here. So this, whenever we click on this button, it will change the color of this background to maybe lighter colors or something. So let's add some button there. So let's come down here. So let's say light mode. So that's what we are calling our button, light mode. You can call it anything you want. So button, once again, this time around it will be on the header because you are putting the button at the top, so it will be on the header frame. So let's give it a text. Then let's say, well, what text should we give? Okay, let's say change. Let's say change background color. Alright, so then what again should we need? Okay, let's give it a background. Okay, I have this color code in mind as well. So let's say 32 CF then BE. I think it will probably look like green or something. So okay, we have to place it before we can launch it. So let's give it a font to make the text a little bit appealable. So we say font. Let me come to the next line. The line is probably too long. So let's click on enter. So you're on the next line. So font, then open parenthesis. So I'm going to give it a font of, okay, let's say Arial of something like 14. So we can place it now. Okay, let's make it bold. So let's come down here. There's a light mode dot place. The open parenthesis then we'll give it x and y coordinate. So we'll give it x coordinate of 950, then y coordinate of 15 as well. Then we'll launch it. So when we launch it, okay, I think it has entered into the corner. So let's reduce the x coordinate, something like 900. So let's launch it again. Wow, it's still there. Okay, I think it's the text that is too long. So let's say change background color. Well, it makes sense. So let's just make it 850 or 800. Or we can even reduce the font size. So let's say 12. Okay, so you can see it's nicely placed here. So right now let's come to the top here. So on top of the header frame. So let's create a function. So let's say okay, light and dark. Okay, light theme, light mode. I just want to create a comment that would differentiate the code. So light mode toggle, light mode toggle section. So we'll come down here. So let's define a function. So we'll say, let's say toggle bg, toggle background, toggle bg. You don't have to name it the same way I'm naming it. You can name it what will probably make you understand it better anyway. So let's say current. So first we are going to be targeting them one by one. So first we are going to target the background. We are going to change this background color whenever we click on that change background button. So it will change the background color from this here. So that's what we are going to target first. So here, let's define a function. Let's say our current background. So let's say current bg. So we'll assign it to window.cget. Sorry, not state. Supposed to be c. Okay, bg. So what this will do is that this will get the color of the window and store it into this variable here, which is current bg. So anytime we call this current bg, it will refer to the background color which has been assigned to the window. That's why we are naming it current bg. So which means the current one anytime we launch the background. So let's come here. So let's define an if function. So let's say if current bg, which is current background, is equivalent to, so it's equivalent to this, which is this is the color there. So let's copy that. If it's equivalent to this color, okay, I think there should be one code. Okay, then enter. If current bg is equivalent to this color, then we say new background should be equal to white. So white, let's say 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you can even type white, doesn't matter. So this is just a color code of white. You can type white straightforward. So we are saying if current background is equivalent to this, then we are assigning the new background color. So which means we are changing new. It will, anytime we call this function, it will change the background color from this, which is the current background, to the new background, the white that we are assigning to it now as the new background. So let's come here. So let's come under the if. Then we say else, give an else function. Then we'll come down, then we'll say new background. Then we'll assign it back to the old color. So I will explain it in a minute. So let's copy and paste it here. So what this means is that we are saying we are getting the current background color, which is what we assign here. So let's say if this is yellow, it means we'll write yellow here. So that's the current background color now. So we are saying anytime we click, anytime we call this function, which is the toggle background, anytime we call this function, if the current background after calling the function is this, then change it to white. But if it's not this and it's already white, then change it back to this. So it means when you click on the toggle background function, it will change it from this to this. If you click on it again, it will change it from white back to the old. So now this was the old one. So after you click on it, this becomes the new background. So now when this becomes the new, after clicking on it, the new then becomes an old one. Then the old one will now become the new again. That's why I've assigned new background to this again. So I hope it makes sense now. So that's it. So let's just say window dot config. Then so right under the else here, we say window dot cget. Then we say config. Then we say background to new background. So the new background we assign. So I think this should work now. So now this is it. So then okay, I think we are left with one more thing. We need to call the function inside the button. So let's come here inside the light mode button. Let's say command, then we'll call the toggle background command. So we'll call the toggle background command there. So now when we launch it, boom, it's happening like magic. You see, I told you this works perfectly, nicely. You don't even lag your Tkinter app. So simple. So I click on it, it changes back to the old one. I click on it, it changes to white. So now you see we've done this. So now let's target the header. Then we'll come and target the sidebar. So now let's come back. So it's probably the same step we are going through. So right now we are targeting the header. So we'll come here. So same step. We also create a new function, then store the current header color inside. So we say, let's say current header, then we'll assign to, so we'll say same thing, header dot cget, and then background. So this will get the background of the header. Then let's come into the if function. So inside the if function, let's say end, then we'll call the current background, sorry, the current header. So current header, then we'll assign it to, okay, we'll see, not assign, equivalent. So if current header is equivalent to, so okay, what's the color of the header? I think it's this. So say 1 2 3 4 5 6. So that's 6 of the zeros. That will give you the black color. So then we'll come down here again. So same thing as we did to the background. So we say new header. So new, sorry, I think I mistakenly click on my caps lock. So new header, So we are going to assign a new color to the header. So I also have a color code in mind I'm going to use, which is basically going to be, let's say 80, okay, 808080, okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, it should be 6, so 808080. Okay, so once again, same thing, so let's copy this here. Now let's come to the else function. So inside the else function, we paste it here. Then we'll change the color back to the black, so which is the black 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, then we'll call it under the else. So we'll say header dot config, and then we'll assign the background to the new header. All right, so when we launch it, boom, it happens like magic. So you can see this was black. When we change it, it become lighter. So this is like brown. I don't know what exact color is this, but you can see, you always see that it just changed. So it changes both colors. So finally, let's do to the sidebar. So same thing. So let's come here. So let's copy this to prevent long typing. Sorry. So let's just change this to sidebar. Sidebar. So sidebar. Then we'll come here. So right after this, let's click on enter, so that we'll come to the next line. We don't want to write and make the line too long, so we'll say end. Then we'll call the current sidebar again, current sidebar. Then to be equivalent to this. Okay, let's see what's the current color of the sidebar. So let's copy this, current sidebar. So paste it here. Then we'll come back here again. So new sidebar color, or simple new sidebar. Then we are going to assign it to a new color. So I'm going to use the color code. So let's say FF. We have we have 4dB. Yeah, I think that's it. So probably the same step. Then we'll copy. So let's come back here. Let's paste it here. So we'll change it back to the old color. So what was the old color? Okay, that's it. So let's copy. So this will change back to the old color. Then down here we'll call the new sidebar. So new sidebar dot config. So then we'll assign the new, okay, sorry, we'll assign the begin to new sidebar. Alright, so let's check and see. Oh, I think something is wrong. Okay, let's check and see. Okay, let's see. Ooh, okay, what's wrong? Okay. I think this should be, we're supposed to call the sidebar now. So this should be sidebar. I hope it should work now. Boom. So this is it. So you can see when you click on it, changes back to this, changes back the color. But there's also one most important thing. So if okay, let's say we add a text. So right now let's add a text here, and let's say label. Okay, let's say text. Then we say label. So let's put it on the okay, let's put it on the window. Then let's put text inside. So let's say change background, or in caps change background. So let's give it a size, a font. So font, so let's give it a font of, okay, we need a comma here. So give it a font of say Arial 14 bold. Then we'll come here. So let's say text dot place. So let's put it somewhere like, let's say x coordinate of like 600 and like y coordinates of 500. So let's this. So okay, we have the text here. Let me make it come a little bit upward. So let's make the y like 200. So when I launch it, we have this text here, right? So as you know, normally when you add a text, let's say you want to make the text background blend to this. So all we have to do is to just give the text a background color. So say BG. So okay, what's the background of the window? Okay, the background of the window is this. So copy. So when you launch it, you can see now the text background blends to the window. But the problem is, and whenever you change the background color, you see the background color to the text which you change. You see initially the background color of this text was the background color. You see this. So that's the reason why, because the background color of the text is the same as the background. That's why it blends with it. But the moment you change the background color of the text remains. So it means you have to change the background color of the text in the toggle background function to blend with this again. So it means that anytime you put widget or anything on the window, you have to define a new color for it so that to blend the color in the background. So okay, let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can come here, it's current just the same thing, like I said, just the text. So copy, let's paste it here. Basically the same thing you have to go through all over. So you see, just so simple and very reliable. So this current test. So let's call the test, which is test.cget. Then once again we'll come here and we'll say end current test equivalent to. So I think the background of the test was this. Let's see the background of the window here. That's the current background, the same color. So we'll paste. Then we'll come here. Then we'll say new test. You can even say new test color. I mean, if whatever will make sense to you, it's okay. So new test. So say okay. Let's see. Okay, let's give it think it should be supposed to be 1 2 3 4 5 6. It's supposed to be the same color as this. So come here, new test, new test, then we change it back to how it was. So copy, paste, then we'll come back here, then we say new, okay, test dot config, then we'll say Beijing new test. So let's launch it. So you can see whenever you see that now the background of the text blends with this, so it blends with all. So you can play with it around, whether it's button or anything, label, whatever, same thing applies. Let's say even you want to change the foreground, like see this is black, maybe if you want this to also change to like maybe blue color whenever you change it, or like blue, want to change the foreground, you can still do the same. It's just the same thing, but instead of the BG it has to be FG, which is let's copy it. Yeah, so say new text foreground, so this will be FG. So let's copy new text foreground, so let's come here, let's click enter. So new text foreground is equivalent to, so the text color was, I think, yeah, this is it, black. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we'll come here, so let's copy this to avoid long typing, so we'll paste it here. So this will be new text foreground, new text foreground. So let's give it a new color of blue. So we'll come back here, so new text foreground, let's just copy this, new text foreground. So we'll change it back to the black. 1 2 3 4 5 6. So we'll come here, so this will be test dot config, then this time it will be FG, remember, because BG means background, FG means foreground, or you can write it in full foreground if that's okay. So we are calling new text foreground, so this will change the foreground. So when we launch it, if we click on it, boom, changes to blue, works perfectly, changes back to the black, changes to blue. So basically anything, if it's button, maybe you want to change the highlight background of the button, same thing, like just the same process, just have to define it, highlight, just have to define it to see get, then maybe the what you want to get, highlight foreground, if it's border, maybe border, or if it's whatever you get, if it's border, you get it border, you want the border to be 0, you want the border to be 0 at here, and you want the border to be 5 on the next color or whatever. It's the same process, you just have to play with it anyhow you like. So I hope this video is helpful. If this video is really helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment so that it will reach more people as well. So thank you for watching this video.